The Vietnamese Navy has undergone a remarkable transformation in recent times. Starting from a modest beginning, Vietnam's maritime force has grown exponentially, both in terms of the quantity and quality, rapidly rising to the challenge posed by the complex geopolitical currents of the South China Sea. While it is relatively young compared to some long-established navies of the world, Vietnam has managed to keep up with its rapid modernization drive, pulling off significant upgrades and acquisitions that now give it a notable presence in Southeast Asia. Its fleet is now composed of world-class ships, both locally built and procured from international partners. It has partnered with countries like Russia and India. It also has a lens on local development and self-reliance. Some local firms expressed confidence in building tailor-made naval assets for Vietnam's needs. But just how strong is Vietnam's Navy really? Is it strong enough to actually counter China? Or is it just one of the minor regional powers of Southeast Asia? Well, to understand this, it is essential to understand the equipment the Navy is using, how strong they are, and only then will we be able to understand if Vietnam's Navy is really capable of becoming a powerhouse. Before we begin with its equipment, it is important to first understand what the Navy is. Locally known as the Vietnam People's Navy, has a chain of command that stretches from the rank of admiral, which is known as Do Doc in Vietnam, to being an officer cadet. The history of the Vietnam People's Navy, on the other hand, is a long one. The transformation journey of the People's Navy began with its fleet mainly comprising retired warships from South Vietnam or the Soviet Union. From 1978 to 1990, the Soviets poured assistance and encouragement toward the Navy, which made them the largest naval force in Southeast Asia. But in exchange, it was known that the Soviet Union had access to Cam Ranh Bay as a naval base. The People's Navy had about 1,500 vessels, composed of 1,300 former United States and South Vietnamese naval vessels, naval and civilian junks, and coasters. They had 2 principal combat vessels, 192 patrol boats, 51 amphibious warfare ships, 104 landing ships, and 133 auxiliary craft. Throughout the 21st century, the Vietnam People's Navy continued to grow. They focused on modernization, and as the economy of the country boomed, so did its budget to fund better and more equipment. These equipment now form the backbone of the coastal and maritime defense of Vietnam. So, what is the Vietnam People's Navy's strongest naval fleet? Well, it is known that Vietnam is one of the few Asian countries to have submarines of their own. Vietnam operates the so-called Kilo-class submarine. The equipment hails from Russia, where Vietnam in 2009 had inked a deal with the country for 6 Kilo-class submarines worth $2 billion. Vietnam then established the modern submarine fleet in 2013, after they received the first submarine, called HQ-182 Hanoi. It is well known at the time of acquisition that the Kilo-class submarines were amongst the most famous around the world. China, India, to even Iran, Poland, and Romania have actively acquired these submarines. The Kilo-class submarine is equipped with an advanced stealth technology, extended combat range, and ability to strike land, surface, and underwater targets. It has speeds that can reach over 20 knots, dive as deep as 300 meters, and have a range of a massive 9,600 kilometers. It can carry 52 people over 45 days and displace over 3,100 tons. Its arsenal, on the other hand, is as terrific as the submarine itself. It has the 3M54E missiles, which carries a 450-kilo warhead, and an anti-submarine 91 RE-1 RE-2 with a 50-kilometer range. These submarines showcase not only the power of the Vietnam People's Navy, but also a representative that Vietnam is slowly becoming a regional powerhouse. But that is not the sole equipment that makes up the strength of the People's Navy. Vietnam has more than just a submarine. They also operate the Gepard-class frigates. Just like the Kilo submarines, these Gepard-class frigates are built by Russia. They have capabilities that are unmatched in the seas. They have a standard displacement of over 1,500 tons, overall length of 102.14 meters, and are powered by a 2-shaft combined diesel or gas system, which includes 2 gas turbines, each producing 29,300 shp. and a Type 61D diesel engine generating 8,000 bhp. The ship is manned by 98 personnel and can sustain operations for 15 days. Its equipment include various sensors and processing systems, surface and air search radars, SSN-25 Switchblade anti-ship missiles, and other weaponries. The ship itself is stated to have capabilities to track and destroy floating target ships, air defense, and anti-submarine missiles. Another significant ship is the Kukri-class missile corvette from India, a warship that is equipped with naval guns, anti-ship missiles, air defense systems, and has a maximum range of over 4,000 nautical miles. The Kukri class was not acquired from India, rather it was gifted. In India, they call it the INS Kirpan and was announced on June 19, 2023. The gift is part of a strategic partnership that the two countries hold, which displays how Vietnam's allies in India, Russia, and even the United States recently have been helping improve the country's army. One of the locally made ships, though, is known as the Molniya, which is built under license from Russia. It is reported that the Vimpel shipyard is manufacturing components and supplying them to Vietnam for missile boat assembly. Like other ships, these have formidable strength. They are designed to fight enemy boats with a maximum speed of over 40 knots and a sea endurance of over 2,300 miles. Finally, one last significant ship is called the TT-400TP. It is reported that the Hung Ha Shipbuilding Company under the Ministry of Defense started building this ship in 2009. The TT-400TP has 4 key missions, which is to wipe out enemy battleships, protect army bases of landing crafts, protect civilian vessels, and for patrolling purposes. It currently has a maximum speed of 32 nautical miles per hour and can continuously operate for 30 days, with a range of over 2,500 miles. But that is not what makes this ship surprising. It is locally made, and it is made at a very cheap price. The ship is reportedly to cost just $1 million. Yes, that is right. A gunboat that can defend Vietnam cost nothing but $1 million. Compare that to the $2 billion submarine project of Russia. How can a ship cost $1 million? Well, the military stated that they had acquired a similar battleship abroad. It would cost over $10 million. Making them locally had ensured cheaper cost, probably due to labor costs as well. Nevertheless, it was known that hundreds of the best engineers in the factory had been trained abroad for 3 years to learn technologies needed to build the ship. This ensures that the ship is reliable despite being manufactured in Vietnam. Aside from ships, it's important to know that the Navy does not just guard Vietnam's ocean, they also guard Vietnam's coastline. In other words, they also handle land-based artillery that can protect the country from incoming ships. For instance, it is known that Vietnam uses the Acular rocket artillery from Israel along with another rocket system called Extra. These serve to defend Vietnam's coasts, and these missiles have high accuracy and more than 40 kilometers in range. So, just how strong is Vietnam's Navy? Well, they are indeed strong. Maybe, back in the Cold War era, they were not as formidable compared to Southeast Asian neighbors, much less China. But with the recent introduction of world-class submarines, locally built ships, it shows that Vietnam is serious about its national defense. On top of that, having local expertise also shows that in the future, Vietnam can become a defense exporter. It can also show that Vietnam does not have to rely on other countries for its national defense, which is an essential part of the entire Vietnamese defense industry. And finally, while it may still not actually be as strong as China, it can still be stated that Vietnam's Navy should be amongst the strongest in Southeast Asia, if not in the entire Asia Pacific. But anyway, do let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.